Over the past 7 years, I've reviewed over 10,000 LinkedIn profiles. And I've seen so many mistakes that people make with their profiles, specifically with their job description sections, that make it harder on prospective customers and recruiters to take the kind of action that they want them to take. So today, I'm sharing some key questions that I highly recommend that you ask yourself before you start writing, as well as some key elements to take into consideration when you're strategizing your job description sections on LinkedIn. Hi, B2B marketers. Welcome back to another episode. If you're new here, welcome. My name is A.L. Wise, and this channel is all about giving you practical tips and strategies that you can actually implement, especially if you're in an industry that celebrates customers, like marketing, customer success, customer service, stuff like that, you have such a great opportunity to impact the way that companies do business, but you're also dealing with really complex buying processes and you need a way to stand out. Now, LinkedIn is a really great platform to stand out in because a lot of people make a lot of mistakes on LinkedIn. And if you're the one to fix those mistakes, then you stand out. And the good news is that these are not really hard to fix mistakes. They're kind of easy. And I just want to put it out there. I'm saying mistakes, but obviously there is not just one right way or wrong way to do something. Definitely not how to write your LinkedIn profile, okay? What I am going to share here is what I wish more people knew and, implemented. And what I suggest that you do is that you hear me out and just see what you think could work for your specific situation and test it out. Okay, so the first thing that you can do in order to stand out with your job descriptions is to explain what it is that your company does. Now, if you work for LinkedIn or Amazon or any of those big names and you don't want to add a description, that's fine. Don't add it. But all the rest of you, add a sentence or two to help me out. Okay, now you would not believe how many people do not add this information and how frustrating it is when you're trying to review hundreds of profiles and you have all these tabs open on your computer. You have to click that extra link to the company page to understand what's going on here and whether this person is relevant, and that is if there is a company page, which usually there is, but sometimes there is not. Now, let's be honest here. Clicking an extra button is not how hard work when your computer collaborates, and you don't have a million tabs open. It's not hard work, right? And if somebody's trying to sell you something, it's gonna be worth their time to click that extra button. But guess what? That person on your profile right now, that could be your next big client, or it could be somebody that's looking to interview you for a big publication, or it could be that you're a potential employer at that dreamy company that you've always wanted to work in. Okay, now these people are busy. They are inundated with emails, to-do lists, meetings, you name it. You know it. Okay, now this is not going to be like a life-changing help, but it is going to make their lives a little bit easier. So just add a sentence or two to just help them understand that they are indeed on the right profile. And at the risk of sounding obvious, your job description box is there for you to describe your job. So for the exact same reasons that we just discussed, just make sure you add a short description. Now, you could be thinking, I'm a marketing manager. All marketing managers do the exact same thing. But they don't always. There are similarities and there are differences, right? And if somebody's looking to interview you or talk to you or work with you, they're interested in your specific experience. So just think about all your day-to-day activities. Think about your responsibilities. And I recommend that you make a list. Okay, just write everything you can think of. Do it outside of LinkedIn so you don't have to worry about how you phrase it or how it sounds. Don't worry about it. Just make a list of everything you can think of in terms of everything that you do every day and your responsibilities. And then at the end of this episode or at the end of this process, integrate everything into a description and job description that you actually publish on LinkedIn. Okay. But first, let's get into a conversion mindset. When you're planning your job description sections, always keep your goal in mind. Okay, so let's say that you are a marketing professional in a customer service software company and you are looking to use LinkedIn as a way to connect with potential customers. Professionals at companies that are looking to improve how they serve their customers. So they might need your software, right? Well, one approach you could take with your job descriptions is to think about all the accomplishments and skills that you gained at previous jobs that help you succeed at your current job and, help you really be the kind of professional that can serve your customers and your audience better today. So, for example, let's say that when you were in college and you worked as a customer service representative and you had the highest or some of the highest customer retention and satisfaction rates. And then you worked as a marketer in a different company and you developed this really successful advocacy program. Well, these are things that could be relevant to potential customers today, to people who are looking to do business with you today. Now, you don't have to, mention your current job and previous job descriptions. And you don't need to spell it out. You don't need to go so I gained skills ABC at company D, and this helps me serve you prospective customers now when I work in company E. No, you don't need to do that. But when you keep your goal in mind, when you're strategizing and writing your job description sections, you can sparkle some breadcrumbs across your profile that help you build your expertise to, for the target audience that's reading this today, or that you want to see reading this today. And speaking of expertise, I highly recommend that you think of all the ways that you've helped your employers and you include those ways in your profile. Obviously, the best scenario is if you've driven measurable results, especially in marketing, right? That is totally going to help you stand out. So don't be shy about it. Include as much information as you can, as many numbers as you can, of course, without hurting confidentiality. If you don't have those numbers, there are still ways that you help your company and you can totally mention in your profile. So let's think about it. All right, you get the blog updated every week. You found that great website designer that got your vision, your team's vision for the brand and helped you completely transform the brand visually. You manage a team, you manage freelancers, you created a scalable process or a repeatable process. You find a way to work with the sales team. There's always something you can mention. So just go back to the list that you made of everything that you do on a daily basis and all your responsibilities and just dig something up from there. And while you're digging, let's talk about social proof. All right, so we all know that companies do their best to empathize as much social proof as they can, right? They emphasize what publications have mentioned them, what brands have worked with them, how many hundreds of thousands of people are on their newsletter, etc., right? Well, you can do the exact same thing with your LinkedIn profile. All right, so have you been published? Have you been mentioned in a big publication? Have you been interviewed? Have you published a guest post on behalf of one of your employers? All of this counts. So just list as much as you can. And if you don't have any of that, don't worry about it. Most people don't have it and you can totally work on it. So make a point for yourself to work on this later and then add it to your profile. Because right now, I want to talk to you about something that's really important. It's kind of technical, but not really. And it's really, really easy to do. And it's going to help you get better results with your LinkedIn profile. And so let's talk about it. And then afterwards, I'm going to share one of my all-time favorite questions to ask when writing job descriptions on LinkedIn. Okay, but let's talk about this first because this is really, really important. And that thing is people's time and how to maximize it in your job descriptions. All right, now we've already established that the people who are going to land on your profile are likely really, really, really busy. Some of them are going to want to stop and get to know you better and read your profile on a deeper level, but they don't have the time. And so how you handle it is you have 1 or 2 paragraphs, depending on how much you have to share about the certain position, just 1 or 2, keep it short, and where that requires actual reading, right? They actually have to stop and read. And how you get them to stop and read is below these paragraphs, you have bullet points. Now, I recommend 2 sets of bullet points. The first one is what I like to call some of the results that I helped the company achieve. And then, you list a few of the results that you helped the company achieve. So, for example, let's say you increased conversions on your website, you increased email subscribers by 300,000 people, and you developed an Instagram audience from scratch that converts really, really well, even though you're in B2B. Stuff like that you can mention in the bullet points. And then the second set of bullet points that I recommend that you have is social proof. Now, of course, you don't call it social proof, but that's basically what it is. So you can mention, for example, a few of the publications that wrote about your company. And if it's thanks to work that you've done, then even better. You can mention, say, some of the brand accounts that work with you guys, right? Stuff like that. And the rest of it is okay if it's in paragraphs. Again, keep it short. But having the bullet points, 1 or 2 of the sets of the bullet points, is really quickly gonna give somebody's on your profile a reason to stop and read further and get to know you better. Okay, so are you ready for one of my all-time favorite questions to ask when writing job descriptions? Here it is. What was your favorite part of the job? In every description that you can, and I know that is not always possible, but if in every description that you can, make sure you include what was your favorite part or multiple favorite parts about the job. Not only does it help you show excitement for the job and helps people, imagine what it could be like to work with you, but it also helps you add some personality and to humanize your profile and to, start building emotional connections with people who are reading your profile, which is really important in business, even though it's often overlooked. Now, why is it important? I actually have a whole video on that, so I'm going to leave that link down in the description below. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.